there.
It's the pop-up show.
It's a pop-up show.
It's the pop-up show.
Pop, pop, pop.
It's the pop-up show.
Pop, pop, pop show.
It's the pop-up show.
Something's happening, something's going on.
TTNL back live to get it on.
$7 a month, don't need a coupon.
We worldwide, the flag is waving strong.
Surprising your patient with breaking news.
Bring a whole lot of truth, no pay-per-views.
Could be called Shayne or DDP.
Just another branch on this family tree.
The tape never lies like a boy JC.
No narratives allow how we rock the beat.
Breaking news on time, now we ain't no bullets.
Jealous networks make us out to be villains.
Unbreakable truths like a man Bruce Willis.
We stand tall in the city like the Willis.
Tower, over the competition we devour.
Grants every time like the slob on Bears Hour.
Others fall asleep when the apple is bit. We taking out the frauds who here to Great Britain. You can't run that eye, brother, who are you shin? Patrons of the truth, this network spin.
Old man reporting live from the dungeons. We keep it real, tears from chopping onions. Bears Nation on the rise, be on the coverage. Hot off the press, hot fresh out the oven. It's the pop-up show.
Pop, pop.
It's the pop-up show.
Pop, pop, pop.
It's the pop-up show.
The pop-up.
It's the pop-up show.
Pop.
It's the pop-up show.
Pop, pop.
It's the pop-up show.
What?
It's the pop-up show.
Pop, pop, pop.
It's the pop-up show.
TTNL.
Tell him, Chris.
Tell him, Chris Zorich. Pop-up show, Shayne.
Pop.
Friday night, man.
Big day.
Huge day.
Bunch of
Oh, man.
dramatics out there a little bit. You know, some morons are still holding on to the greasy rope that they're sliding down.
Some people could never be investigators because they can't even read what's in front of them, let alone a defense. The reality is we saw a lot of people that held their, I don't want to call them hopes, but held their narratives.
Oh, yeah.
Right? They held these narratives. And you and I have said this for a long time. Like, stop with the manipulation, stop with the narratives. The tape has already told us this is the greatest quarterback that I've ever scouted. And a lot of people are coming out of the woodwork.
They think if you say that, Phil, they think that it's you again, it's you're trying to push a narrative and all of this nonsense. And
I do the work. That's the difference here at TTNL. This is what we do for our patrons. We pop up. We wanted to do it live for everybody, all our fans, and you guys have been amazing. I know there's a lot of turmoil. There's a lot of shit that goes down with people wanting things and to create things. But see, what we do here is that we don't create, we take what is there and we show the truth. We create talent here. We've got a bunch. We had Lauren Cox, former partner of ours, and then creating more talent. We saw a guy at the combine covering it better than wily veterans.
Our baby boy.
Our baby boys growing up, asking big time questions and getting big time answer. Because you know what? Greg understands.
Can you guys help me, please?
What should I ask, Coach? I love him.
Moriano's been picking on me. He's gonna.
But in all seriousness, the thing that I have always told him, and I tell any person that truly wants to be a content creator for whatever you're doing, you have to tap into the authenticity of what it is that you love. And if you do that, then people will get around you and believe in that. It's just like coaching. If those players in your locker room don't believe that you truly love it and believe it, then they're not going to play for you. So in all my years watching, and we're going to bring out a guest right out the gate to break this all down, because we wanted to talk about what transpired.
Should we do it this way, Phil?
Breaking news. The tape never lies. Network breaking news.
There he is.
What's up, boys?
Two little proud papas just sitting here, and our adolescent son with a gigantic zit on his forehead comes to our show.
Princess Unicorn.
You found a unicorn. You were able to talk to a unicorn today. You have a princess.
You want to know how Hollywood I've gotten too? Jenny gave me some makeup in my bag to like touch up when I go.
You know, Shayne ain't gonna miss that.
Got me applying it, so that's
the bad part about it was Greg walked into the one room and JJ Stankovic saw him and just started sprinting the other way because he'd seen that
before. What's up, boys?
How are you, Greg?
I'm great. Second year doing the combine, so I have a little better understanding of what I'm supposed to be doing. Last year, I mean, at this time, I was so exhausted I couldn't see straight. I remember driving home last year on a Saturday afternoon and having Jenny have to like literally talk to me on the phone on the 2.5 hour drive because I was so exhausted and like shaky from not getting any sleep and drinking way too much late into the night. So it was kind of got too excited, about it last year. So having an understanding of how to approach it and the different layers from what you do during the day, interviewing, Ryan Poles or the players or Matt Eberflus. And then at night where there's a lot of networking that goes along with this part of the week, it's almost the bigger part of the week is what isn't being reported, what isn't you hear on the shows or anything, or you see on the shows that goes late into the night. So I've kind of learned to pace myself a little more this year. So I'm feeling fresh.
You started off the week and I shouted you out, in truth. Of course, Shayne and I get painted.
The best man I know. Happy birthday, Greg.
Yeah, the best man I know. I still haven't wished your kid a happy birthday, and I'm never going to.
That's all right.
Did you like my motivational text for you this morning?
I did. You
noticed mine was first, though, right, Greg?
Yes, I did. I always keep tabs on that.
He does. Believe he jokes that he doesn't, but he does. But anyway, you started the week out with two of the best questions because we're not going to pretend like we don't realize there's a lot of people that love to live in misery or love to see failure. You aren't one of those guys, though. You can say a lot of things about Greg, but you can't say he enjoys misery and wants to see failure. So Greg gets to the podium with Ryan Poles, and you ask him the pointed, direct question, and he did not. And Shayne, you said it. I wasn't expecting him to answer that too. I thought he was going to take the PR way out.
I was taken aback because, whenever you try to whenever you ask somebody in that position to compare players, you default to, well, I'm not going to really, talk about another player. That's not what we do. Just give it. And he went right into it.
Yep.
I mean, it's when he did that, I'm like, oh, to me, that says
it was a huge tell. He didn't say no.
What did he say? These arm angles. Boom.
Yep.
Right there.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's like, and to go into detail and talk about Jeff King, the head of scouting, and talk about this artist versus surgeon analogy and giving that kind of insight into how they evaluate the quarterback it was cool of him to give that much detail into that answer and really help us as fans understand what they're looking for. But yeah, you're right. It was, one of those things where it was somewhat of a tell because, and the reason I asked too is like the obvious reasons, they've had the comparisons like I set up in the question. Cliff Kingsbury, people say, oh, quit comparing him to Mahomes. Well, Cliff Kingsbury is the one that coached these two guys, and he compares him to Mahomes, saying they're eerily similar. So I don't care what anybody on Twitter or whoever else is saying what, but when your coach is saying that about you, and not only that, but somebody the Bears interviewed to be your offensive coordinator this year. They just talked to him. And obviously I'm sure it was a fact-finding mission, but at the end of the day, they've had constant communication with this guy, or at least Ryan Poles has throughout the last few years when trying to draft a quarterback, whether it be in Kansas City or Chicago. So for him to not, put a wall up there, I was like, okay, well, there's really nothing else to ask here. He didn't say no.
Yeah, and the comparison is not a projection of where they're going in their career. And this is what I always tell people, like, block out the front. Like, I always could tell there's always going to be a comparison in a athlete's movement skills, whether it be in swimming, basketball, hockey, every sport. You're going to, wow, who does he remind you? So once you start saying that and it doesn't fit, let's call it the Justin fan crew or fanboy, oh, that's too far. I've said this many a times. It is what it is. I look at his tape, Greg, and I see Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes. And I honestly see a little Dan Marino in his ability to manipulate Dan Marino couldn't beat a freaking bulldog in a sprint, right? But he certainly was able to manipulate the pocket. Today, Chris Sims, who also said he's the best quarterback in this draft by a mile, like I have been saying, and he was talking about his throwing mechanics and what he is. It was like Patrick Mahomes, right. Aaron Rodgers, like, this is what we're seeing on tape, Greg. And you're right there. I said this the other night on the show. There's something, and I just use Walter Payton, and people get upset about it, but there's something electric when you're around somebody that you could see is just different. And when I'm watching his tape and I see how he interacts, especially today, it was like, okay, just it's over. The Bears are taking this kid, and that's it.
And when you talk to his teammates today across the board, Marshawn Lloyd, the running back, I actually got like a 3-minute one-on-one with him. And, I asked him straight up, like, hey, a guy like this as your teammate, with NIL and every player trying to build their own brand, but this guy's on a totally different stratosphere than the rest of you on Dr. Pepper and Wendy's commercials. Like, how is that for you guys as a team, understanding that this guy is promoting himself on a whole nother level than you guys as the team? And he said, hey, he eats, we all eat. And then you watch how he's interacting with the rest of the players. He did that funny thing where he's interviewing the player from the media pit, and everyone just kind of laughs along with him and talks about how great of a teammate he is. And, the top of the top players, are going to have a little aura about them, a little bit of swagger and confidence. And there's going to be a little bit of borderline arrogance attached to that. And if you want to see through it and say, oh, he's just an arrogant kid and I don't like that, I think you're missing the forest through the trees, because that's the type of players that are on his level, at least at the college level. For him, he has to prove it at the NFL. That's the kind of, that's the kind of demeanor they carry more times than not. So I don't begrudge him for that. And then the other aspect of it too that I found interesting, hearing Tom Pelissero talk to, Caleb Williams, and talked about what they did in the 15 minutes they got to meet with him today. They stuck it to strictly football. They broke down tape and they challenged him on his recall memory. So they broke down tape to start, first 10 minutes in, and then the last 5 minutes, they started calling back some of the earliest plays that they worked on to see if this is a guy that relies just on his talent, or if this is someone that can really understand what it takes to process quickly and understand the playbook in its totality. So what I find interesting about that is they're challenging his mental fortitude and stress test in that regard. But they like, how many times do we hear Ryan Poles say, I got to find out about the person?
Yeah, the man.
Like, okay, you're testing his mental fortitude there, but you're not really like asking him why he cries or paints his nails. Like, I think when you talk about Ryan Poles trying to find out the person, they're talking about his work ethic, his leadership, but they're not talking about his maturity or if he gets along with his teammates or, if he's too eccentric. Like, I think they've done enough fact finding leading up to this process to have that already out of the way. And now it's just trying to hammer down, the rest of it so they can, say with confidence, okay, we're making this move. And now we got to do the domino effect of, moving on from Justin Fields and start the process of bringing this guy into Chicago.
So Greg, before you took off for Indy, what would you put your percentage? What percentage would you give it that you thought the Bears were gonna stick at one and take Caleb Williams?
Well, I mean, I'm biased, so I'll readily admit that. I have thought since October that if they had the number 1 pick, they were taking Caleb Williams. And there's always
do you feel even more confident as you're sitting here now?
Yes, of course. When Ryan Poles comes to the podium on Tuesday and says we're going to do right by Justin, and then you go to the the podium and Matt Eberflus says these are the intangibles that I know make a great quarterback because I've been evaluating quarterbacks for however many years. And he talks about, timing and accuracy and fourth quarter and, short down and distance, got to have it moments. Like most Bears fans will say that those things weren't his fault as far as the failures of the execution of the team or the player. But at the end of the day, his resume doesn't have those boxes checked. Whoever is to blame, is a longer conversation. But at the end of the day, it does peel behind the curtain a little more. So, yeah, by Tuesday, it felt like after Tuesday that Justin was going to get traded by Thursday. Now, today, it's starting to kind of pull back a little bit, and it seems like this process still is going to get drawn out a little further. You got 14 days until free agency, and, over 20 days or 3 weeks until his pro day. So when they're going to have a longer meet and greet to really dial home who Caleb is to the Bears and who the Bears are to Caleb, I don't know if that's going to happen before they have to trade Fields before free agency. It's going to be interesting to see how that plays out.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of talk out there today, like Diana Rossini.
I was just going to bring it up. Diana Rossini, I feel very, very good leaving Indy today that Fields is being traded and the Bears are targeting Caleb Williams. And then she also talked about Justin Fields' market diminishing or not as being as robust, I think was her word. In regards I think that's the whole poker.
That's a poker game going on, right? I mean, it was driving up a couple weeks ago that they might get a first-round pick. And go ahead.
Yeah, I think there's merit here. I was listening. Courtney Cronin made a great point about it's very clear that Caleb Williams, despite the Dan Orlovsky's and Timmy Hasselbeck bullshit. Pardon me, Adam Jenkins' son. You see them trying to manipulate. This happens every year. It's not going to change who's the best quarterback here. And I think Caleb knocked it out of the park for the Chicago Bears. Everybody I've spoken to has said that. So now that kind of puts you in a position now we know you're taking him. Maybe we can wait and give you less for Justin. That could be the cause of this as well.
It all depends on how many teams are involved, right? And go ahead, Shane.
No, that's what it is. Like you put it perfectly. It's the art of the game. You know what I mean? You're gonna. We all are the same, and we thought that the Bears were gonna stick at one and take Caleb Williams. Lots of people in the NFL. I mean, they're playing the game too. You saw Dan Orlovsky come out and take Jaden Daniels number 1, and that's more for content and clicks. And there's people out, Nate Tice likes Drake May, at number 1 overall. Why? I have no idea, but everybody has their favorite flavor. But it's just what it is, and it's never going to change. You're going to hear more things get ramped up because we're 56 days out, 57 days out from the draft. Things are going to ramp up even more. The only time that this is going to stop is when Ryan Poles comes out and says, I'm shutting everything down. And,
even then, to Rich Eisen's point, once they make the trade for Fields, this is going to go all the way until the night of the draft.
Yeah.
Because then we're going to be playing the roller coaster of who, the reports are going to start moving around. They're definitely taking Caleb. And then a day later, they might take Jaden Daniels. They might take JJ McCarthy, all the silliness. I mean, Will Levis moved all the way up into the top 3 at one point during the draft process.
What I was going to say tonight.
So, ultimately, I think they're going to do what's best, but the roller coaster's not going to stop as far as the decision conversation. I just think overall it's prospect fatigue and it's conversation fatigue. So people are trying to say something different, like you said, Shane. And I think Caleb's been on the spotlight for so many years now that now you're trying to find the flaws, whereas these other guys haven't been, in the spotlight as much. So now you're like, oh man, this guy has a lot of good qualities. And now you're lifting him up a little more. So, that's where I stand with that.
Yeah, I'll put an end to this right now. There's 100% chance the Bears go up and they're taking Caleb. It's not even a conversation. We showed Drake May's tape this Monday coming up. God, I got to finish up this Florida game that Dan Orlovsky was hyping up. Jaden Daniels will be on our agenda. If you're not a patron, become a patron. The tapeneverlies.com. We'll do another 2-hour breakdown of Jaden Daniels.
Maybe 90 minutes.
Maybe 90 minutes. But we'll show that tape. And listen, you would have to be a fool to not recognize. That's why I just laugh at these people, because I could tell who watches film and who doesn't really watch film, who regurgitates other people's stuff and wants, you got to leave bias out.
Well, I steal your takes all the time. So,
that's fine. I'm allowing you to do that. But the reality is and you know me very well, I don't have a gray area. I just tell it like I see it. I've wanted Justin Fields to be the guy and be the answer and have these picks to build around him. But guess what, Logan? You could say it 1,000 times to a wall. The wall ain't going to help you, because the reality is Justin isn't the guy. Drake May isn't better than Caleb Williams. Jaden Daniels, not better. Not even in the same vicinity of this play.
Greg and I had this talk months ago before this was even a thing. And I talked about it a little bit the other night on Keeping It 100. I was to the point, Phil, I told you early, I was never there on Drake May to the point where I thought I was missing something. I talked to Matt Waldman privately about it. And Greg, I remember bringing it up to you, and I'm like, dude, he is not the guy. And I think
one of the reasons you mentioned was about how he bails out of the pocket too early sometimes. And that was a question that I asked him, and he admitted that is something he needs to continue to get better at.
Real quick, because I know you got to go, and we are going to break down the actual press conference that you were at. Is there
my one-on-one with Caleb?
I wish. Yeah. I don't want to forget what's Leisure comes right out the gate to try to throw a grenade on the kid. And that right there tells me how great Caleb is. But we'll get into that in a second.
You're not talking about the question before mine, right?
Yes, I thought
that wasn't Jason Leisure. That was
who was that?
No.
It was a completely
I apologize.
It was this guy in the 10th row. So like Jason Leisure, to his
Thank you
credit,
for
I
clearing
tried
this up.
to be the first person there today. I told Nick and Karma, I was like, we are
Yeah.
going to be the first people standing at this
Hogan
podium.
Johns were making fun of you for that on their
Yeah.
podcast. By the way.
And the doors opened at 6:30 a.m. And when we walked in, Jason Leisure was in there first. I got to give him credit. And no, he did not ask that question.
That
It was
wasn't.
some
I
fake-
apologize.
It was, no, it's
Someone had
okay.
told me that was him.
No, he's the guy that did it is getting drilled on Twitter because he put the video out there and then started like, promoting it as if it was a good thing. And he's getting completely dragged through the streets on it. And
Yeah, that
rightfully
was the
so, because the tone of the
stupidest-
question was just unbelievable. And it was some like fantasy guy that, got credentialed and wanted to stand out. And he is, but for all the wrong reasons. But hey, it helped me because I wanted to be the first question. That was one of my goals. But because he jumped in like out of nowhere while Caleb was saying good morning, then, and I thought that was a really big moment for Caleb because it did not phase him. It rolled right off his shoulder.
Bro,
He smiled, gave him a very, a nice answer, a nicer answer than the guy deserved. And then he moved to me. And so when I asked the question, I think it kind of helped, transition to somebody that, wasn't trying to attack him right off the gate. And so, that was bad. But no, I got to give Jason Leisure his props. First one there today.
Well, the guy, I thought it was him trying to just throw a grenade at the kid and blow him up. And he showed you how he can handle pressure in the pocket.
Yeah, for real.
You can just tell by his demeanor, the way when you hear him.
Oh my God.
He's not a quick react guy. He's very
stoic,
calm and chill.
Yeah. And that's where people are like, oh, I heard a couple people there. A guy from Draft Networks was saying he's arrogant. If he's arrogant, then he's giving that guy a little more chippiness. He handled it with grace.
And
like you said, and poise. So I give Caleb a lot of credit. I'm sure he knew it was coming, but I don't think anybody could have seen it coming in the way it did. First question out the gate before he barely gets good morning out of his mouth. So not a great look for that guy, but so I got to get going, but
couple nuggets of things that we should know that you haven't talked about or something before you go. Anything.
Yeah. There's a few things floating around with, Jalen Johnson and how close they may or may not have came to a contract extension. It definitely seems like Jalen is sitting there saying, you're going to pay the piper now. I might have accepted something at the trade deadline, but whatever, today's price or yesterday's price isn't today's price. And so he's going to play a little hardball, and it might force the Bears to have to use the franchise tag. And there might be a little bit of a standoff there in that regard. So you're just going to have to see how that one plays out. But, hopefully they can find a resolution and a middle ground there. But outside of that, there obviously the rumors of the Falcons, Steelers are definitely still on the table for, potential candidates for Justin Fields. And, I know people would be shocked as Bears fans, and I certainly would be as well. But some of the things I was hearing traveling around, the Las Vegas Raiders aren't completely off the table with Luke Getsy. And I would be as shocked as anybody else if that were to happen, because I just didn't think they were a good fit. But from some of the things I hear, it sounds like because Justin and Luke talked about at the end of the year that how much they got along. And I didn't really buy it in the post-game pressers. But then as, people start talking here that know a lot more than I do, it definitely seems like that was a true statement, which is surprising to me because I would have looked at those two guys as kind of pointing the finger at each other and saying, you're the reason my reputation is taking a hit here.
Right.
But it seems like they're kind of more on the same page than it may seem. So maybe there's a reunion in Oakland. Like I said, it would completely
they're
shock
on the same page, and the organization is blaming both of them because they're both going to be gone.
Yep, that's fair, So, but to see if that were to happen, to see Bears fans' reactions to that would be just mind blowing. So, there's a few things there. Outside of that, I'm trying to rack my brain to some of the other things that I heard. I mean, the Hall of Fame game seems like it's a foregone conclusion, for the Chicago Bears to play in with three guys that played for the Bears being inducted. But outside of that, there's nothing really, because all the talk was Justin Fields and Caleb Williams this week. So a little bit of Jalen Johnson, talk going around as well.
Well, we won't keep you, and we appreciate you jumping on here.
Yeah, of course.
Those big moments, both with polls and Caleb Williams for you, and bringing it to the fans. I saw you a long time ago shooting. I was talking about you last night at the coaches clinic. I was speaking to a bunch of college coaches, and then afterwards we went for dinner, and I was talking about you and saying, here you are over here, because I was telling them about Caleb Williams tomorrow, which was today, going to step to the podium and answer a lot of the haters. And I was saying what a great job you did with polls, and all of them agreed. Once polls took that question and said, I want to do right by Justin, and started talking about Pat Mahomes in the comp, it was very evident where the
right.
Where it wasn't.
That's what I said when I thought about that question, and then my first question to Caleb a lot of how I would frame it and to try to elicit a good response. And I said with the polls question, well, if he doesn't say no,
right.
that's all you need to know. So he didn't just say, he did not only say no, he gave a pretty incredible answer that really gave us some insight. And then I was able to use that to talk to Drake May and Caleb Williams about whether they think they're an artist or a surgeon, to try to build off of that a little bit. So yeah, it was a lot of fun this week. Obviously, I appreciate your guys' support. I did text you guys to help me with Eberflus. I don't think anything was going to help me with Eberflus, because I think that guy wanted to throw me.
We didn't make fun of you privately. I promise.
Yeah, I can't. I only can come up with so many good thoughts or questions. Like at some point I'm gonna hit a limit and hit a wall. Like I'm a complete moron. Okay, like this is a total dog and pony show going on around here, and you guys know that better than anybody.
Well, we love you, bro, and keep having fun. That's what it's about. Tap into that power of, this is something you love. When all of these freaking people start laughing and pointing the fingers at you, they're probably jealous of you. That's all I could say about it. So keep doing what you're doing, because you're doing it right, man.
Yes, sir. All right. Well, we'll stay in touch. I'll hop on anytime you guys need me here this off season.
All right.
Perfect. Thanks, brother.
Obviously, bro. All right, man. Have a good one.
Well, I mean, I'm your insider now, Phil. I mean, Jesus Christ.
Right.
I got that.
I'm
gotta fit you in my schedule now, Phil.
I'm gonna have to Photoshop that picture of Glazer and put Bragg's face on it, and he's sitting down with Cunningham and Poles.
Yeah, just another picture with a giant sit on my face.
I bet you Poles and Cunningham were eating chicken fingers.
Yeah, no, they weren't.
They went for steaks at a steakhouse.
Yeah, exactly. All right, guys. Have a good night.
Brother.
Later, man.
Enjoy your ginger beer. We'll see you.
Yes, sir.
Good. It's good, man. Don't knock
it. Listen, Caleb's teaching me. I'm about to take the boys out and get some ginger beer this weekend with my former defensive coordinator. Now he's going to be a head coach himself. We're going to go get some ginger beers, me and Coach Fish. But anyway, arrogance, Shane, is a use or a misuse of understanding a journey. I've always said there's a difference between confidence and arrogance. I think people get so afraid of when someone knows that they're good at something. That's usually called confidence. Like, this kid has always been talked about in a manner with which doesn't even resonate with me at all, because the tape has told me, and I've put my face to it, and so have you, but I have said more so than anybody, this is the best quarterback that I've ever scouted. The Chicago Bears last year, owning the first, if he was in it, should have traded Justin and taken him. You think a year later, with the narratives and the beatdowns that this kid has taken in the social media, that he wasn't going to come out prepared and have a little, I think it's a spike on all the haters' heads. Like, if it's not heard from me, then it's probably not true. And I just the father stuff. I had to deal with that with fans. Like every way and every angle you try to hit at somebody it's just not even in the vicinity of what matters.
Right.
Aaron Rodgers is considered a big jerk, right? Does that matter on Sundays when he's
But
playing?
Phil,
No, but
you and I
this is
talk.
not even it's not even in
You and I
that.
talk every day about this and always wanting the Bears to make the right decisions with
Right.
everything, but especially a quarterback. But where this is different is where you and I and people that are against what we believe happens to be the best course of action with the Bears, and that's drafting the guy that's on your screen, number 1 overall. That's the haul.
That is the
Not the
haul,
trade
by the
down.
way. That's the haul.
But let's turn this around a little bit. There's people out there calling Marvin Harrison Jr. the haul. You got to trade down, give that to Justin Fields. Imagine if this guy right here, Caleb Williams, blew off his media responsibility at the combine. Imagine
Oh my God.
it would lead everything, every single sports channel, everybody on Twitter would be having a complete meltdown. What's anybody saying about Marvin Harrison Jr.? It's not even a blip on the radar. Oh, yeah. And by the way, he's not working out at the combine. He didn't show up to his media obligation. Oh, and by the way, he's not working out at his pro day. But people, all of these red flags that they're pointing out for Caleb Williams are all non-existent. Boom. Bullshit story. Boom. Bullshit story. Boom. Bullshit story. Now he's gonna go through some trials and tribulations. But I just imagine what the temperature would be like on social media had he left and not did his presser. It would have been I can't even imagine how toxic it would have got.
It would have got so toxic. He did everything he's supposed to do. And by the way, I've spoken to hundreds of NFL players, and sometimes we talk about what was it like to go through the draft and where were you? And the conversation somehow always goes to the combine. They're like, yeah, it's crazy. You're like cattle being looked at. But what's the worst part about it? And this is like not even asked. They just offer it up. The worst part is the doctors poking and prodding you for hours.
And so I'm glad you brought that up. And
Yes.
Our guy E90 here brought that up too. Let's just break it down. There was players in the lobby thanking Caleb Williams for that process and how he's handling it. Everybody wanted to report that he wasn't giving his medicals. He's giving his medicals to the teams that he's meeting with. Let's strip this down to the simplest thing possible. As an example, let's just say you're going on a job interview at McDonald's, and McDonald's wants your medical history.
Yep.
Does that mean that Burger King, Taco Bell, Wendy's, and Buffalo Wild Wings should have access to your medical history when you're not interviewing there? Think about the logistics of that. And I know Greg Gabriel said it's the first time in the history of the combine. It doesn't mean that it's been right for 39 or 40 years. There was lots of things done in the beginning that have been proven to be wrong. Lots of them. The Bears are going to have his medicals. Washington is going to have his medicals. Do the Kansas City Chiefs really need the medicals on Caleb Williams? Do they?
Nope.
Do the Green Bay Packers? Nope. No, they don't. Did the Dallas Cowboys? No. Players were coming up and talking to him about it and thanking him about it for the way that he handled it. Is that a red flag? No. To me, it's not. Again, it's people going out of their way to find one more thing to pile on this kid. Oh, he doesn't want to be in Chicago. Remember those days?
Oh, remember those days?
He might not come.
All the narratives were destroyed.
He's never going to come in the draft. The Chicago's drafted. Oh, well, yeah, he declared. Well, Washington's number 2. They hired Cliff Kingsbury. Oh, yep.
I had a coach. I can't say their name, Shane. You brought up.
He cried with his mom.
You brought up Cliff Kingsbury. I had a coach bring a point up last night, and I can't say his name. He wanted to be off the record on it. But he's like, did you watch the Johnny Manziel documentary and watch how Cliff Kingsbury allowed this shit to go down? It did nothing. And you think the Chicago Bears weren't picking his brain about the kid and not wanting to interview him for the job? Because what is he bringing to the table after watching? How do you hire that guy? It looks bad for Washington hiring him. Yeah. This is a football coach.
You need those medicals, Phil, because, with those medicals, then you don't draft Dan Bazine in round 2 or Chris Williams high in the first round. Right?
Yeah, Chris Williams back.
And you had the medicals.
It's sad.
Get out of here with that nonsense.
It's sad that it's sad that I'm listening to and I'm seeing this
True
stuff
story,
happen.
E90. Burrow didn't either.
Burrow didn't. I know another player that didn't. But the reality is it's sad that we're at a time where we should be so happy. Now, I'm watching this go down this morning, and I obviously am watching and listening to ESPN 1000, Cap and Hoodie. And here's Cap getting so fired up and excited because finally you're getting a dog at the position of quarterback like no other. And he's excited about it. And then you got Hoodie all excited about it. And then you have these pitiful other networks and these micropods trying to do everything in their power to tear somebody down that's standing at the podium answering everything straightforward, honest, good personality, likable guy. I don't have any words for it. I said it before Boomer Esiason said it. I know, and I took heat for it, but I'm like, if you don't take him, you should be fired because that's how good he is on tape. Now, I haven't sat down to talk with him, but watching him handle the grenade of the first question is it just a showcase of the poise and the personality and the things that you want because you're going to face adversity. You're going to face adversity. And especially as the quarterback of Chicago, despite your narratives, I've said this many a time. I challenge any person, any network to come on TTNL with Shane and Phil with your Justin Fields tape from last season. Not a highlight tape, your tape. Let's go. If you know how to cut tape, you have to cut his whole tape, put 4 games together, and show me. And you can't because it doesn't exist. It doesn't. It's inconsistent, inaccurate. It's not gotten better. Christ, Shane, you have the fourth quarter. Your coach is talking about fourth quarter, third down, big moments. What are Justin Fields' big moments in the fourth quarter? I'm not a stat guy, but a stat guy sent me some stats. I can read them. I'm not. Justin Fields' fourth quarter stats. 61.3 passer rating. Worst in the NFL. Imagine if Caleb was worst in college football in the fourth quarter, Shane. Would he be up at this podium? Yeah. Would he be talked about like it? No, he wouldn't. No. So let's go. 16 interceptions in the fourth quarter. Most in the NFL. 60. Wait, man, it's the guard. It's the center. He doesn't have enough talent. If we just get him this. Guys, quarterbacks make players. It's just that simple. We're talking about the NFL. 55.8 completion percentage in the fourth quarter. Worst in the NFL. Do you think the Chicago Bears are dumb? They have these stats. They have the tape breakdown. They've been doing their due diligence on this kid since last year. Anybody telling you that this kid got worse after Notre Dame, that somehow he was generational, now he's not, they're lying. Anybody telling you Drake May is better than him, they're lying. Any quarterback in this draft is a mile apart from him. You have been gifted by the football gods that you saw me the other day praying, gods, thank you. Shane gave me this. You made it come to life, Shane, because you calmed me down and said, well, they trade the first overall last year. They get 2 shots at possibly what if Justin doesn't improve.
Right.
Caleb Williams. They've done it. They're here. Now he's here. Now we're here. And you could have, but you have nothing to prove it with. I have everything to prove. Shane and I have done the work. I have thanked my guy, Chris Harold, 100 times. I have the paint. And I can show you that. Monday, I will show you why Dan Orlovsky is a contrarian bettor. He's going to bet. I wouldn't stake my reputation on a bet. I do the work. Dan, people are, I just started watching his tape. Wow. No, we've been doing this for a while now. It is very clear. That's why I speak from that place. Whether you can handle it, that's up to you. You want to lie?
If you want Jaden Daniels, you might as well keep Justin Fields.
Right.
That's a fact.
We will show Dan Orlovsky's number 1 and Tim Hasselback's number 1. We showed, and every patron, even the most stringent, adamant patron, maybe likes Justin Fields too much, would say, okay, the difference between Caleb and Drake May is like night and day. That's not a knock on Drake. It's just, this is something so special. So special. Coach Fleck last night had a great story about Raiders of the Lost Ark. The one when they
Tell
go.
them who you're talking about if they don't know who Coach Fleck is.
Coach PJ Fleck from the University of Minnesota. Me and him had a great conversation privately, but in his speech, he talked about using his team to understand something. He used the Raiders of the Lost Ark, the one when they find the chalice, they go to find the chalice, and there's that guy protecting it, and you must choose the right one. Remember this?
Yeah.
And the guy's with the girl, and he's like, which one? And she chooses the shiny one, right? And the guy drinks it, and he dies, right? He disintegrates. So then our guy has the Last Crusade. Thank you, Rob Daniel. Then he has to choose. He chooses the shitty wooden one, the carpenter one, and drinks it, right? It doesn't have to always look pretty. Doesn't always have to look pretty, but when it does, it's there. And here, I'm sorry, as Coach Fleck said, Caleb does things that normal human beings only dream of doing. And he's on a different level. We've been on a Last Crusade, Shane. for a long time, since Sid Luckman. Let's play this stuff. Okay. So here's a kid answering all the questions. These are authentic. You're not knowing what you're getting. So he's up there authentically and he's winning because it's just who he is. Michael Jordan had a level of confidence. Kobe Bryant, the Williams sisters, they carry a belief. Tiger Woods, Larry Bird. There's a belief in who they are, and the competitor of that person jumps out at you. It's just on another level. And watching him answer these questions about just how he handles his teammates. I mean, I've shared with you patrons as well as the TTNL fan base, speaking to one of his former teammates. Now everybody's talking about it now, and speaking, Greg was mentioning it, but his former teammate told me, this guy took his NIL money, didn't pretend that he didn't have it, and took care of the lowest guy, the guy on the bench, the kid, the manager, the guys that are filming. He always was looking out for everybody. He always took care of his offensive linemen. Everybody felt like they were included. There was he knew it took a family to get this done. And this is a guy that played with one of the worst defenses in college football. And he stood in there and faced the adversity.
Right. But it's just like this, like Tony's saying, if you don't think he was trained for these questions, then you're mistaken. But I guarantee you, if he went up there and he fumbled and sounded fidgety and didn't answer these well, Tony would be in our chat saying this guy's a fucking moron because this matters. Then all of a sudden it would matter when it proves what Tony thinks or whomever. You know what I mean? It's just, and I'm not specifically saying that that's what Tony wants, but I'm just saying everybody in general that is against absolutely everything Caleb Williams does. It's nauseating to a point.
It's the stupidest thing. If you're against greatness, as Cap, myself, and Shane have been involved in this hashtag, those of you that are TTNL to the bone, true TT, not talk shit about us over here, that kind of play both. I know the difference. We get a lot of screenshots. Yeah. Like I've seen, and it's disappointing. It's actually disheartening because if you believe in the position has foiled the Chicago Bears,
right,
and you recognize that as a GM, you have a responsibility not to Justin. Justin is a player on the team. You have a responsibility to the Chicago Bears and everybody under that umbrella to improve at every position. Justin Feelings, if Justin was a free agent, do you think he's going to loyal himself to the Chicago Bears and take No. He's got to do what's best for him. And I embrace that.
Phil,
the Bears have to do the same thing. And that's why Caleb Williams is
somebody might draft Michael Penix in round 2. And he's a 24-year-old rookie quarterback. Justin Fields is 24. Now, to me, if I'm targeting Penix in round 2, and that's where I think he's probably going to go. I'm not a Penix fan. There's no way I'd touch him in round 1. But why? To me, yeah, all day. If you're going Penix in round 2, I'm flipping that pick for Justin Fields. We'll see where this goes. Diana Rossini's not just throwing things like that out there willy-nilly. That right now the market is not robust. If the Bears got a legitimate offer, guess what? He's probably gone already.
Yep. I agree. Hashtag chase greatness. That's what we're looking for at this position. You could be the headstrong bully, start talking. Like once you start diving into inappropriate commentary, you've lost any credibility. Any credibility. Stop. It's embarrassing.
James DeBoer is the head coach of the Alabama Crimson Tide. I think you're talking about his OC that left Alabama and went back to Seattle. But yeah, it's just, I don't know, man. It's to the point of
nauseating.
Yeah, it is.
Loved him, composed, intelligent, cocky, it factor.
Yeah, is there a cockiness to Aaron Rodgers?
Hell
is there
yeah.
a cockiness to Patrick Mahomes, to Tom Brady, even Peyton Manning, Mike Vick, back in all of these guys? I mean, Justin Fields
done this. Justin Fields has a cockiness about him.
That's part of you need that.
And Creighton C is talking about, and thank you, 1999. Brady mechanic perfectionist. He also loves to draw up plays. He's a game changer. It's in his nature. The interviews with Pro Football Talk with Chris Sims and what's the dude's name from Pro Football Talk? Florio. That was great stuff. And Florio is a big Minnesota Viking fan, and he's having an emotional meltdown of fear because the Chicago Bears are about to get a guy that even he is. You saw his tweet out there. What did he say? The Vikings, Lions, and Packers. We have that one. Hold on, I got it. We just spent 10 minutes with Caleb Williams. Condolences to the Vikings, Lions, and Packers. This guy is the real deal, and the Bears will have their first franchise QB since Sid Luckman. If that hurts your feelings, then I don't know what to tell you, because the last time I've checked, it's been that long. We'll give Jim McMahon his props for the Super Bowl, but it's been a long time for the Chicago Bears to go back there and be victorious, and you need some of these dogs like that. Somebody who talks the talk and walks the walk. Those things are two different things. You can have a little barking beagle. Well, it's game time, man. You have to have that fire and that ability to grip it and rip it and make those big time throws. We'll have people, he'll throw for 6 touchdowns in a game with 3 picks, and people will focus on those 3 picks. So
Mitch threw 6 touchdowns, Phil.
You can't even do it. Oh, okay. I guess we don't have a louder audio of the questions video. Yeah. But we'll just continue.
This is directly from the NFL also.
That in Lincoln.
He didn't play baseball. He didn't play any other sports. He played football. He had a drive to do it. You want to be great. Yeah, there are ball dads out there that want to be coaches and they're feeding their kids or whatever. I personally will never be that guy. I just won't. But I know there is. And some fathers can be overbearing, and that's okay. It's a part of growing up. But he can't control what his dad said or add a question about or whatever. Some rumor came up that his dad, listen, if you're going to ask for it, you might as well ask for the stars or whatever it is, ownership or all that. And then people run with it and try to tear him down. And you could just see his disposition. Like there's a constant smile on his face with every question, whether it was questioning his height or the first grenade that was thrown out there. Are you afraid to compete with your peers? And da-da-da-da-da. And he handles it perfectly. But the reality, Shane, in this is that when you have somebody who's been the best at what they do at each and every level, they can get complacent. They could just live off their talent. I sent Brennan, my guy Brennan, all these interviews. The one with Spielman on CBS, the one with Pro Football Talk, Florio and Chris Sims. Chris Sims comes right out. You're the first round pick of the Chicago Bears right here. And he just starts smiling and laughing with him. And you just see the disposition of this kid that's always done it really well and has what we were talking about with Tom Brady, with Patrick Mahomes, with Walter Payton that I spoke about the other night. He had a drive. He's sitting there working on his craft. He's working on his craft.
You want the one with Spielman?
Yeah, you could play a little bit of it.
Yeah.
I like to hear it because it gives me a little bit more juice.
Well, one of the low points, we'll call it, in the season was the Notre Dame game. And Rick and I do a podcast, and we talked that Tuesday after that Notre Dame game, and we both came away separately thinking we were more impressed with Caleb Williams' second half performance, the way he bounced back, because the first half was rough with the 3 interceptions. Did you take something from that as well?
Yeah, I took something from this whole year, this whole past year. It was the closest I've ever been to losing a losing season, the closest I've ever been to a neutral season. And so I've taken a lot from this year. At one point, losing is really tough for me. So at one point, Lincoln sat me down because he knows it beats me up pretty bad. And so
winning matters. Winning matters.
He sat me down, and his saying was, either you learn from this and you grow and go and reach what you can reach, and or you keep feeling the same feeling and you go throughout the rest of the season feeling like this. And so from that perspective and that point on, I changed my, it was like a different
even
mentality,
halftime
everything.
it felt like something clicked, because, and Rick and I were talking about this the other day.
Yeah, and
wait a second.
To Tony's
halftime.
Yeah, Rick Spielman said to himself, it's hard to get a real feel for these guys because they're so well polished before they come into the process. They're trained to go through this now, and that's 100% true. Yeah, they essentially are going through a training camp specifically for this stuff. But what did Rick Spielman also say? Ryan Wilson, the guy to Rick Spielman's left, to our right as you're looking at the screen, asked him, let's just say you had the number 1 pick in the draft, Rick Spielman, and let's just say a team called you up and offered you 3 first-round picks and, their best player on defense and their best player on offense. And he goes, how hard would that be for you to turn down? And what would you do? And he started laughing. And he said, I would draft Caleb Williams. He, in fact, even said he wouldn't even entertain phone calls. He would shut it down. He would draft Caleb Williams.
It's very clear. It's not even close. Anybody that thinks Drake May is better doesn't understand quarterback play. It's just not there. You could say maybe one day he'll be better. That's a guess. That's a maybe.
He's got upside.
May's got upside.
So does Caleb Williams. Ton of it.
But Caleb Williams' floor is better than the quarterback that you have under center in Chicago now. So the ceiling is what I'm talking about. Now, I wish we would have Jim Larison's body language expert. I'm not, but I've taken classes on it, and I worked in juvenile corrections. Now, Shane, you put up that dude's comment. I'm looking at Caleb Williams' body right now. Do you see how he's sitting? And his legs are crossed, and he's leaned back, and his hand is on the sofa or whatever, love seat, whatever we're going to call this. He's completely and utterly relaxed in the biggest pressure place, whatever. He's okay.
He's the quarterback to USC. I mean, he's been, Justin was a lot the same. These guys have been around this for their entire lives. So I don't think it's anything, but it's stupid shit like this.
Yeah.
Dumb comments from Ninos saying dumb shit like this. Yeah, he's Chase Claypool. God. Give me one example, Ninos. Just one. Just admit that you don't want the kid to be a Bear and you want.
Why would you root against?
But it's just this.
My
this
goal
is the type of
isn't to root against
shit
anybody
that people make up to try to prove a point. And
that's embarrassing, Ninos.
It's complete nonsense. Oh, he's Chase Claypool. He does Chase Claypool things. Name one. Name one. Are you going to tell me because he bounced from the media during a game? That's what you're going to hold against him, right? You're not doing it for Marvin Harrison, right?
Where's Marvin Harrison? Where's the diva Marvin Harrison? Is he getting his face sculpted for the Hall of Fame? He's a future Hall of Famer. Can't face the press. Maybe he's scared. Why isn't he out there? Oh my God, what a diva. Doesn't even want to show up and face the music. Can't talk. How's he going to make it in the NFL when he has to talk? What is he going to do? Oh, he's a big baby. He can't play in Chicago. No way. Not a single chance. He'll get eaten alive. He can't show up to the combine. He's not going to work out his pro day. What's he hiding? Maybe he's got a huge medical. Come on. Have consistency. Great content. E90. Zach, $2. Thoughts on Robert Mays coming on? We've had Robert Mays on.
Yeah, I told him earlier. Yeah,
okay. We'll have to bring him on
Trivia
again.
time. When was there a great quarterback 6 feet and under? I don't know. Drew Brees, Russell Wilson, both Super Bowl champs.
Doug Flutie, Fran Tarkenton,
Mike Vick.
That's off the top of my head. Mike Vick.
They're probably not good enough, would be my guess.
I'm trying to think. There's a couple more too, probably. Jesus. Mike 51, $5. I love the arrogance. He's the best, and he knows it. Reminds me of a young Kobe Bryant. That's a great comp to the energy that he gives off. Do you know what Kobe Bryant led in basketball? In all of basketball? I learned this from Coach Fleck. What did he lead all in basketball in? Missed shots. He just kept shooting. Right? It didn't deter him from taking shots. What did Brett Favre leave the NFL in? He's in the Hall of Fame. What did he lead the NFL in?
Picks.
Still. Interceptions. Yes. Interceptions. Do we focus on that? A lot of times we focus on the negative. Do your homework. I've opened up the chat. You can find me on Instagram. You can DM me here, or you can reach out to TTNL.
Guy Nino's big mad now. Sorry, Nino. Guess what? We put you up with the big lights on you. Made you look like a fucking moron. Yeah. Hit me up on Twitter, Ninos.
Come on.
At Wazram. Be the first one that replies. We'll go head to head right now. Let's debate.
Bring
at Wazram. Don't pull the TV podcast. Yeah, my earbuds aren't charged. I put my email in there.
We could bring you on, Nino.
Come on and we'll debate. You bring me your examples of him being Chase Claypool. You obviously have them. Hit me up at Wazram. I'll send you the link right now.
It's just sad that you're trying to bury this kid. And here he is facing the 3 Notre Dames. They're telling you they're more proud of him for how he handled the second half. That sounds familiar to what we said and showed every patron the actual all 22 tape of that game live. And guess what? Sunday, we will show you the Washington game live on TTNL Patron.
See, he falls right in line, Ninos.
Got it.
So he just doubted himself. It's all good. Sorry, Ninos. We knew you wouldn't show. It's all good.
It's okay. I also will challenge any Bears content creator that has Justin Fields as this second coming, and you see all this great stuff, to bring your tape. Bring the tape of it, because I'll give you a little hint. Ryan Poles is no dummy. If you really truly have a quarterback that you believe is going to bring you to contention versus this talent coming out of college. You're not even worrying about this talent coming out of college. You're worrying about this guy here. That's not been the case, nor should it.
Right.
Everybody gets their shot. You get a first-round pick. Josh Rosen had his shot. Josh Rosen failed. This is not an easy game. It just isn't. There's a lot of failures there. And some of these analysts get paid by agents to hype up their clients. And they take that money and they're sold. They do it.
Oh,
they do.
See this?
Breaking news. The tape never lies. Network breaking news.
Still nothing in my DMs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Ninos is big scared right now. Falls right. It's funny how they all fall in line all together. They're all charging their headphones. Sad.
Oh, you gave him an opportunity. He couldn't step to it. Now he'll take this opportunity to talk smack in a chat.
Your guys' content sucks. That'll be next, and then it'll be, more of the same. And then he can run back to people that won't come on camera, that whole crew, or look what I did to the TTNL guys. Guess what? Caleb's going to be the Bears quarterback. Just accept it. And we couldn't be fucking more excited, Phil. That's the best part.
I'm ecstatic about it because for the first time in my lifetime, I'm looking at someone I've scouted on another level. Like there's times you're scouting quarterbacks and you're looking, okay, this is the best one in the draft. You know what I'm saying? Like when I looked at Josh Allen, I thought he was the best one. I saw what he was and the potential.
Yeah.
How are you sitting on a
Ninos.
field
I'm
coaching?
sure you are, bro.
You're not a good coach then.
He hates us so much. He's been watching us for 7 years. Even your shit talk is fucking dumb, you piece of shit.
How are
right,
you
Ninos?
How are you coaching?
Yeah. I bet.
Oh. So
he's big mad right now, though. He big mad. Ninos is.
I would be fired as a coach if I'm watching the show while I'm coaching. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Step
you
away.
Kids go do 70 laps. I got a 2-hour show to watch from people that I don't even like. Coach of the year over there.
Oh, well.
Oh, but now
I think he should. I think he should just focus on the.
Coaching. He's not coaching like he just said 30 seconds ago.
No, he can't do it, but he's waiting.
Too easy.
Just go coach.
Too
bro.
easy, Nino.
Coach the next kid.
I'm glad you're not on because it would be over in 15 seconds.
Let me finish my point.
Yeah.
Here.
Oh, you know those little kids that you coach at 9:30 at night, right? Maybe he's on California time. I'll give him that, but he ain't coaching anything.
Could be in Cali.
Yeah.
Listen, now it's the time that you get to the point where you're getting a quarterback that is going to bring you the opportunity to be competitive each and every Sunday in a passing league. It's just that simple. This is a business. You have to make the best decision for the Chicago Bears. To Ryan Pohl's credit, he set this up for this. He even admitted he didn't expect this to happen. He did admit maybe that he was rooting against the Carolina Panthers all year, which good on you for being transparent and truthful. And you got the number one pick. And it happened to be in a year that you said, you know what, we're going to pass on Bryce Young and CJ Stroud. We're going to take this trade down. We're going to accumulate some talent, some draft capital. We're going to hopefully take some talent in the draft, but we're definitely focused on DJ Moore. We want that guy. We want DJ Moore. They get DJ Moore, right? Get DJ Moore. They get the draft capital. They get the extra first round pick. The Bears have the 9th pick. Carolina gives them the 1st pick, and it goes back to Shayne saying to me last year, well, you get 2 swings at an opportunity at getting your boy Caleb Williams next year. Okay, I'll settle down now. Let's do it. And we get him. We're here. I just don't throw this out there. I looked at Caleb. I looked at Justin. I looked at Drake May. I looked at Jaden Dan. I looked at Penix. I'm looking at all of these quarterbacks, and it's not even close. It's not even close. You just want it to be. Like, you have a bias. My bias is 0. My bias is, holy shit. Look at this thing. We were laughing in the thing. The Hall is the quarterback.
Exactly.
The Hall is the quarterback. The Bears are going to get the Hall. You had David Kaplan today on his show getting all fired up. So fired up because the Bears, he said, what? If you had a question that you were going to ask the Bears, what would it be? Do you want to win? Like, if that's not a T-shirt for TTNL, Alex Acevedo, I don't know what is. Greg is trying to get a T-shirt made right now.
Ninos wants you to check your. I'm assuming he can't type either. He said his IM.
Where is that?
Instagram. Send him the link.
Hold on.
He big mad. Hopefully that fucking.
I was trying to play this.
Hopefully that kids game don't start though. Hurry up, send him the link before that game starts that he's got to coach in.
Well, I was doing this, and then I'll check it.
Buddy, I know it's the NFL segment. I'll hand it off to Snorling in a moment. Huh? Okay. Do you realize? Start reading all the stuff coming out about Caleb this morning. Do you realize how blessed we are that he's going to be ours? Get on freaking board. Chase greatness. Stop being ridiculous. Settling. Being mediocre. That kid's a beast. We're blessed. The football gods have finally blessed us. And we got people in town. Ooh, can we trade the pick? Can we get more? You're out of your mind. Here's Shayne. Don't pop a vessel. I'm concerned about you right now. Start reading this stuff about competing. You have any questions for the Bears? Yeah. Do you want to win?
Love it.
Damn right we want to win.
Print the T-shirt.
Let's go.
Let's go. Yeah.
Do you want to win? Hashtag it up. Chase greatness like Leonidas is doing. I love Cap. I love Shayne. Why am I going to answer some dude saying crap like that? I'll see if he's even in the Instagram. Like,
oh, I'm sure he's not.
What are you doing? He's not.
Yeah, shocker.
He's not there.
So our guy George is asking about Tyler Newbin. I think he just didn't run a 40, correct? He was working out with the safeties.
I didn't see
totally missed something.
Bro, I've been so busy cutting Jaden Daniels tape that I'm going to watch the combine later tonight. That's what I said. And I was getting ready for this because I was so excited about.
You want to finish this one real quick with
Spooner? Yeah, finish this, then we'll finish the thing and get out of here.
The ability to overcome
3 interceptions,
failures in the moment, and making yourself better, and that's what was
that's the biggest thing. Is that how long is that going to linger?
Yeah.
Or you just say, all right, it's done. I got to go out and get a chance to do something in the second half. And that's exactly what you did. To me, that told me what type of special talent you are because you're able to overcome adversity, and you don't let it linger.
Yep. Yeah, it was. I mean, 3 interceptions on anybody is tough.
Yeah.
But every time something bad happens for me, I have a quick saying or two quick sayings that I do, which is make the next thing easy, make the next thing simple, basically, regardless of what it is. It's an easy pass, a deep pass, whatever the case may be. Make the next thing simple. And then another thing that I said to myself in those moments, I'm not going to, go out here and keep, making my team lose. And so I tried my best going out there that second half and fight my ass
you
off.
didn't make your team lose. I don't know much, but I know that. All right, I'm going to ask you a few questions, get you out of here. Who's your football?
There you go. He didn't make his team lose, Shane.
Right. Imagine.
There is no Ninos.
Oh, okay.
Just to let everybody know.
He's got the kids out in March playing football. It's all good.
There's also this audio we could play. This is.
We got props. You like the NFL ball? You like the NFL ball? This is my favorite football. I mean, you don't want this one. No, I don't want this one. But show us the grip. Yep. Yeah, so there he is. He's 2 and right on 4. Okay, yeah, I like it. Yeah. All right. So, but you like the NFL football? Yes, the best football in the world. Right? The laces and everything. The way it spins. It always spins.
It always spins.
We gotta let him go. Damn, do we have to ask you a favor?
Listen to this.
You don't know me well enough. I'm gonna ask you a favor anyway. I want you to look right into that camera, and I want you to say, I will only play for the Minnesota Vikings. Will you please do that? He's so scared. He's a Vikings fan. He's so scared you're going to Chicago. He was so disappointed when I was like, it's time to go. For one.
He is so scared of him going to Chicago. It's hilarious.
For all your highlight plays, which are amazing. And I want to talk about them in a minute. I mean, some of your scrambling one-arm throws and all that
Chris
crap is
Sims
incredible.
And Mike Flory on Pro
really
Football
impressed
Talk.
with your mechanics in the pocket.
Mechanics in the pocket, Shane.
I can tell you do.
He works on them.
You do really. I'm
Yeah,
trying to.
incessantly he was talking about.
He works on them.
Right now, I'm working on small, minute things, but the small, minute things turn into bigger things. Like what?
The small, minute things working. This is a kid that's always working. There was a narrative that was stated that Shane and I had to talk about many a time, is that he can't throw with structure from the pocket.
Prove that wrong.
So become a patron. Honestly, say you're in the middle. There's some people that aren't going to change. They're just not.
Scan that QR code down there. It'll take you to the tapeneverlies.com. Sign up. $7 a month.
Don't hit the free version. You don't get to see anything.
We don't. Yeah, there's people keep on signing up for that.
No,
we don't give it.
See, why isn't it free? Because there's a lot of time.
We do a 3-hour show every Wednesday night. That's our
$7. My wife wants to raise the price. She's like, I don't even get to hang out with you. How long are you gonna be on the show tonight? It goes like an hour. Like,
till it's over, Steph. Should have said.
We have a new puppy in the house. Yeah. It's shitting everywhere. You got to train him to go outside. He can't throw to the middle of the field. He doesn't anticipate well, Shane.
Breaking news. The Tape Never Lies Network. Breaking news.
This just into the TTNL news desk. Nino's football team currently down 24-0 midway through the first quarter. 3
interceptions were thrown by Ninos, the all-time quarterback.
Yeah.
Adam Jenkins, 490. I trust your analysis because you put your name and face to it. I know you put the word in. F the haters. Adam, I'm not even swearing because I thought your son was watching. And you put a swear for me to read.
Right.
And I'll say, fuck the haters. There you go. Fuck the haters. That's the truth. And Jose Torres could tell you, my guy.
Yeah, that's right.
Listen, honestly, do yourselves a favor. Check out what we do there. $7 will be worth your time and energy on the Caleb Williams alone.
Right. Lawrence,
there's 3 chapters in there.
$5. He reminded me of Kobe and Aaron Rodgers. I love it. Guys, let's get ready for April and through September. Let's go. Stop hating. JF1 fans bear down.
Last team to pick back
number 1 picks. No, that's not true. It was the Jacksonville Jaguars just a couple of years ago with Trevor Lawrence and the defensive end that they took. But swing and a miss. Hold on. It's all good, though.
But he had a good message
Yeah.
there.
No, I get it. I get it. You know I'm going to bust balls. Come on. I put this in there. It's not a super chat, but Bear Truth said, question, Shane, so you believe we're 100 in on Caleb. Based on that, my question is, so is there nothing a team can give to get that number 1 pick if they want Caleb? Just a question. No, listen, the Hall is earmarking somebody that you believe is a franchise quarterback. You know, Caleb said today, do you want to win? That was my question for the Bears. Do you want to win? You need somebody in this organization that's going to hold the organization accountable. Somebody
Jim McMahon held the fucking organization accountable.
That does things a little bit different.
Jim McMahon did things different, Shane.
Yeah.
He
Absolutely.
fucking
So
put a Roselle on his helmet.
Guys,
headband.
More picks. I understand the allure of it, but you got to get quarterback right. And everybody automatically assumes if you have more draft picks that you're just automatically going to hit on them. And you're not going to. That's not even logical. You got to go if you're up top and we went through the team, 82%? Isn't that what it worked out to be, Phil? We went team by team. Who would draft Caleb Williams if they had number 1 overall? But Chicago can't.
We went through all of the teams, and I believe it was 8 that wouldn't take him. So out of 32, minus 8, I believe it's 24.
Good at math.
24 teams. One other drop real quick, this audio.
For this one. You know it. He is the man. He is the presumptive number 1 overall pick. Number 1 pick. Just a question of where Chicago he's Bears. Yeah. The Bears are on the clock. Caleb Williams, USC. Caleb Williams is with us. Hey, Caleb. How's it going? It's going great. It's going great.
Chris Sims. I like Chris Sims. I'm starting to like what he stands for and what he's talking about here. It's very easy, guys. Yamazaki, yes, $4.99. Do you, Caleb, would be okay with Aaron Rodgers saying he owns the Bears? The next game that would catch hell from No, exactly. And Aaron Rodgers is his favorite guy, his GOAT, his Walter Payton was my idol. That's his idol. And as much as there'll always be some jackass at a bar. Well, he fucking like Rodgers and fucking. You don't get the picture of. Aaron Rodgers was a thorn in our side. That's a pretty great idol to have, and I see a lot of similarities to the two of them.
Stephen W, $3. Hello, TTNL.
Patron Steve.
He always introduces himself that way. Pop up show.
We got to give him Patron Steve.
Today was a good day to be a Bears fan. Totally agree, Lawrence. Thank you. Our guy Chubbs, who's having bourbon tonight. We got a franchise quarterback, baby. Hey, listen. For us to agree with Chubbs.
This is a minor miracle here.
It is. This is when we say that people don't have their headsets charged, he was the originator of it when we invited Chubbs on. He was the original Mitch. Your
phones weren't charged.
Transition tag guy. He admitted his mistake. Chubbs,
no quarterback.
Oprah Winfrey fan, by the way. But that's a story. That's a whole different show.
I want to say 2 things because I had them. Anybody that says you don't take a USC quarterback, they don't work.
Yeah.
That's like saying your son going to this school, he can there's no limitations on a human being.
Real big problems with the NIL and everybody changing schools every 13 days at this point. You know what I mean?
That too.
Oh,
but
don't
Carson
take somebody
Palmer
from
wasn't good.
Don't take somebody from Oklahoma. Or USC. Or it's you can't.
Northern Iowa.
Yeah.
Kurt.
Don't draft safeties from New Mexico State Or the University of New Mexico.
That's the dumb thing number one. The dumb thing number two is the whole bullshit narrative of crying in his mom's arms. That's a dumb thing.
Right.
Tom Waddle, Spielman, any football coach, Fleck talking about, anybody worth a damn understands the emotion. It's hard to fucking win anywhere. There's no bad loss. There isn't. The last bad loss you had is probably the first, because it just doesn't exist. It's hard to win. So when you do lose, it can tear on you, especially when you give everything and you hate to lose. Listen, I'm telling you the truth. This kid hates to lose. Patrick Mahomes hates to. Aaron Rodgers hates to lose. Tom Brady hates to lose. Drew Brees, Phillip Rivers. Sometimes it's that simple thing when you are getting paid to play a game that is all the difference. It's that I fucking hate to lose. Fuck, I don't want to go over there and hype up Jordan Palmer over there, my right guard. He's having a bad day, but I fucking hate to lose. I don't have the energy. I'm tired. I've been working my ass off, and Jordan's over there acting like a pussy right now, sulking. Meanwhile, I'm busting my ass. And you know what? I fucking hate to lose. I got to take that extra step and pick him up. I'm going to do it.
Right.
So he goes that extra effort. He might not want to. He's doing this in his brain, but he motivates himself. Like, at the end of the day, I need that guy to be at his best. Some guy put my hoodie on, get my pants on, make sure my sneakers are clean, tight. Fuck it. We lost to Jacksonville by 3. We'll be back next week. I'm still getting paid. That's a difference, Scott. I'm telling you. There are guys in the NFL that you bet on Sundays that don't care.
Eddie Kane Jr., $5. I hope and pray the Bears draft this kid, Caleb Williams. I love JF1 and wish him the best. I pray this has lit a fire under his ass to get better. Listen, I'm not wishing any ill will on Justin Fields.
None.
Just when he's away from the Bears, that's where my allegiance ends with all players, unless I happen to know them personally. You know, and that's just, it is what it is, man. It's,
thank you for
there's
your
a better option available.
Eddie Kane. I didn't get to say his name. Anthony P., longtime TTNL patron. There's nothing better for real Bears fans. Look at this. This should be breaking news. Chubbs with a super chat. Chubbs.
Second one.
Yes, $5 from Chubbs. Thank you. 82. Chubbs, the mental breakdown of Justin Fields fans today because they actually heard a winner talk confidently, I found hilarious. It was a confirmation. You aren't the only one, Chubbs. The hilariousness is Shayne sharing and Ryan Cox sharing with me screenshots or tweets or whatever you call X's of people making the most asinine fools of themselves, trying to manipulate someone's words into some meaning.
They're called Ninoses. They're called
We're
Ninoses.
giving them a new nickname.
Yeah.
Are you Ninosing this?
Ninos has been watching us for 7 years, he says, and he's saying that it's not logical for us. We're not talking about career arcs. We've said that, I don't know, probably 500 times at this point. Has nothing to do with career arcs. It's play style. I mean, I know that that's super hard to figure out. We said clearly Caleb Williams is going to have the same exact career as Patrick Mahomes. That's exactly what we said.
Unbelievable.
Oh, man, I would put the phone down and scout.
I don't know how he's coaching if he.
Oh no, he's scouting. Now he's scouting. Phil.
Coaching to scouting.
It's almost like he's making shit up along the way.
Clean. Next, it'll be clean.
You make yourself look like a dumbass, and you're like, fuck it. I might as well go all in. I'm gonna fucking double, triple, and quadruple down on it. And you just dig the hole deeper.
He's broadcasting
the
coaching.
His battery went dead too, Phil. But now you have a message, according to him, in your Instagram. It's proof that
He
he's
already
scouting.
did that.
No, his battery died.
That's what he said?
Yeah, in the chat.
There's no message from Ninos.
Oh, weird.
There's Dion Prince Lindsay, who says, my problem is not with Caleb Williams. My problem is with the Bears. This is good. I'm reading. This is coming in right now at 9:30. Dion, it's the Bears. I don't trust them to do the right by this kid. I'm sorry. I know one damn thing. We better not be back here in 4 years later talking about another damn quarterback. I just don't trust the Bears. Well, Jerry Angelo, Ryan Pace, those guys drafted those others. And prior to them, the whole dynamic of the Bears, Ted Phillips, we said this, is gone. He's not hindering. I guarantee there'd be Ted Phillips in there. Are we going to hurt the Ninos of the world's feelings if we trade? They've asked him the question. What's her name? I was embarrassed for her. I think she's great. But it's been said a couple times by, what's her name? Zales? What's her name? Lindsay Zales? What's the girl's name from the NFL Network? She covers the Bears all the time.
Stacey. You threw me off. Stacey Dales.
Sorry. Stacey Dales, like, Ninos.
Yeah, you had no idea.
That was one of
no
Ninos'
idea where you're going on that one.
Playbook.
Stacey, Lindsay Zales, Stacey Dales.
Now, she sneaks it in there. Now, when it comes to Justin Fields, I know the players really like him in the locker room and the fans. He's got a lot of support. Is that going to be tough for you to trade him out of town? Like,
yeah.
Come on. What do we talk? Did they ask that about another player getting traded out of town?
Right.
He's not worried about anybody's feeling. He's worried about the Bears.
Thank you, Adam.
Thank you, Adam.
Yes,
you don't worry about feelings.
Right. That is the same Stacey Dales, Rob. WNBA. Yes, that is her. It seriously
is.
Yes.
She played NBA, WNBA.
Yeah, not too far from where I grew up. She's
upstate.
Yeah.
In Boston?
Yeah. Boston, same thing.
It's wicked awesome. It's wicked awesome, Stacey. His feelings. Here's a tip. Just to see how it feels. Oh.
Ninos is back. He left guys that will not play another down of professional football on the field to cry with his mom. Just like Ninos left all those kids that he's coaching to sit in the stands and watch TTNL. Good job, coach. Charge that battery.
Harry Franklin, $25. Just suggesting to all my TTNL brothers and sisters, now is the time to send $1 super chat. Bear down. Yeah, send $1. Send $1. Every Caleb hater on draft night needs to send me and Shayne $1 worth of your tears.
Yeah,
we'll do that. Chase greatness, Creighton C. I can't see what you said here, but thank you for $1. He's sending $1.
Oh, yes.
Richard Gordon, $5. Patron is the best 23 cents a day my wife lets me spend. I didn't ask for permission for this one, so I might be in trouble. Bear down, F Green Bay.
Yeah.
I had a Green Bay fan come up to me at a coffee shop here in Boston.
Thing was the dollar that Carrie was.
I got it.
For people, but yeah.
Only Creighton, thanks.
When do you think they'll trade Fields? I think it's going to be next week. That's my thought. originally had said, I think you hear a potential Jalen Johnson extension around the same time that Justin Fields gets traded. I think it'll come probably right down to the deadline day on March 5th, and we'll see, because then you're kind of counterbalancing the drama in the locker room, trading the quarterback and also paying one of your own. So we'll see. It doesn't mean that I'm right by any means, but I think a deal gets done next week for sure. They're going to take as many offers as they can, good or bad, and try to hammer something out next week.
We'll see where it goes. Shayne calls it. He's usually pretty on point. Avon Walker, our guy. Avon, $20 for Bears to be good. We had to get lucky or fall on some luck and look like everything's falling into place. Finally. I agree, Avon, man. Just embrace this. Today was a great day.
Oh, Nino said it's an instant message, so it must be on Facebook Messenger, Phil. According to Nino's. He must have charged that phone up real good.
There's nobody there. Nothing.
Oh, for what?
Stop it. 5? It's just sad at this point.
Yeah.
Sorry, Adam Jenkins. I got my boy Tony D'Angelo watching the show live with his son. I got that.
Nice.
DM. His son Dylan. They look like they're freaking two Hollywood actors, a father and
Dylan,
son.
if your football coach's name is Ninos, bro, just fucking quit.
Dylan is a football player, man. Good one, too.
Nice.
Chubbs 82, $5. I have roasted Cap millions of times on X, but Jesus, he's right. Caleb has everything. He is hands down better than Justin, and everybody knows it. Everybody knows it. Chubbs is back again. I hope
Chubbs got that tax return back. He's giving it all away. Love this guy.
Tax return. Thank you, Chubbs. Chubbs is on a roll.
He is excited about.
He should be.
I agree.
You should all be excited. You should all listen to Kerry Franklin and send $1. The Bears blog said a few minutes ago that offers for Fields have been underwhelming.
Yeah, Diana Rossini reported it about.
Bunch of people are blaming me for sharing my tape breakdowns with the NFL. Listen, I just am sharing the truth here. If he was that great, he would be receiving a bunch of. We'd be getting offers. It's just that simple. We'll see where it goes. I will say this: there's no way, and I'm stealing from Shayne, that Justin and Caleb could survive on the same team. It would just separate things and make things uncomfortable and awkward. There's a personality conflict with Justin and him that I totally agree that will not work. I saw a little of this and heard a lot about it in regards to Tyson Bagent. Can you imagine what it would be with Caleb Williams? Chubbs again, $2. I haven't got a tax return since 2006. Chubbs.
Yeah, Dustin's playing off the comment. That's why the Bears haven't been back to the Super Bowl. Chubbs hasn't gotten a tax return. It's the last time.
Well,
come on, Chubbs, file those fucking taxes this year, bro. Let's go win a Lombardi.
Eddie Kane, I've watched the TTNL breakdown of Caleb Williams, and I was like, yo, this kid got a quick release and fits this scheme perfectly. I'll tell you what, he fits any scheme. Anybody would love to work with a quarterback that has the toolbox of talent that Caleb Williams has. And if you don't believe me, you're on the fence. Like, seriously, it's $7. It's like this dude said, it's a cup of coffee at Starbucks for 1 month. You can go in there. There's a DVR of all of our shows, pop-up shows, and all of the I used to
They're
do the
all
video
stored
shows.
there.
Now I'm doing live illustration breakdowns with you, the whole premise of it. And, they could have copied it and signed up and watched it. The whole premise is you're a coach with me. I'm the head coach showing you what is going on. And we talk and have questions and we watch the tape together in a locker room type of atmosphere. All are welcome. All questions are there. Welcome. What isn't welcome is tearing people down and playing a game of stupidity and acting like we're not putting in the work that we are. It's there. I had Tony and his son signed up recently, and he was like, holy, my son is loving this, and he's totally on board with Caleb Williams. Watching you guys break this down is very enlightening because it's not filled with Stephen A. Smith raw, passionate narratives that are, written for him or semblance of it. They're just real, and that's what we do there. So go over to the tapeneverlies.com. This Sunday we'll do Caleb Williams tape, last chapter 4, because we when Phil says it's the best quarterback he's ever scouted, and Shayne's like, oh, he's the best one this year, and Cars surprisingly is on board with all of us. It's just an easy layup. We do an in-depth, where to hide breakdown of Caleb Williams. So all of the narratives, he doesn't have a strong arm. Narrative destroyed by Phil and Shayne. Can write these books. He can't throw with structure in the pocket. Narrative destroyed. He doesn't know how to get under center. Narrative destroyed. Narrative destroyed. He sucked. His career, he's no longer generational after Notre Dame. Narrative destroyed. Because the tape tells the truth. That's all we're dealing with. Today, Caleb checked all the boxes in his personality and his ability to handle a large media market. He lives in Hollywood, for God's sake. I thought it was hilarious that someone said, look at this dude from Hollywood. He didn't get a fresh fade or an edge up. He just went in there raw and real. That says a lot about him.
He responded to it.
Did
Caleb
he?
did. Yeah, with a laughing emoji. He thought it was funny. Yeah.
Good. How do you not love that? I just love it.
So let's do the lightning.
It has to be lightning.
Quick.
Because I want Ninos to get back to coaching.
Oh, actually, stay tuned. We'll bounce. We're not going to do it right now.
Okay.
It's called I got to get to my NFHS football. I got to go watch these. I got to go watch Ninos coach these dudes up. Ninos thinks I'm a millennial in the chat, by the way. That's
funny.
Probably the dumbest fucking comment that he's had all night. But anyways.
Dumbest. Jimmy Silas, $4.99. You need a little arrogance at quarterback. You really do. You really do. I just really embraced what we saw today. You want to put some final thought on this and then wrap it?
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah. No, man, enjoy it. Doesn't mean because we've moved on as a network from Justin Fields, we feel like there's a better option at the most important position in all of sports. And that's what it comes down to. And you can say that the Bears have never gotten it right, and you'd be right. It should never prevent you from taking the best quarterback available if he's staring you in the face. You don't have to move. You swing the bat. And what's the difference with Justin Fields? It's not Ryan Poles' guy. Ryan Poles did not draft him. This is Ryan Poles' guy. Now, his legacy, his career, it's all on the line now. That's who he's going to be tied to. Caleb Williams, when this goes down on April 25th with the first pick, Caleb Williams, USC quarterback, coming to Chicago. It's what it's all about. You swing the bat when you're holding it, and you see where it goes. Can the Bears fuck it up and not do things right? You damn right they can. They've done it lots. Is this going to be different? We'll see. And we will report on every inch of it all the way. If Caleb does dumb shit and needs to be held accountable, we're going to talk about it. If he looks great, we're going to talk about it. We'll break it all down here. Can't wait for it, man.
There's nowhere to hide. There's no manipulation. There's no flip-flopping, and there's no back and forth in regards. We've been Caleb Williams since last year at draft time when Shayne posed the question if he was in the draft.
Thank you, Samuel.
You take Caleb Williams. I was looking for the audio to leave on was Boomer Esiason. I think this is it, right? Yeah.
Out in Chicago, it doesn't matter. It's over. If you listen to what's going on out there, it doesn't sound like it's completely over. It doesn't. It's over. I mean, it should be over. It's over. They're taking this kid right here. And if they don't take this kid, then Ryan Poles should be fired.
That's it. That's where we end, because I am in total agreement with Boomer Esiason. For all of you Chicago Bears fans, even the guys that are on the fence or the ones that are trying to manipulate a story and a narrative. When I go to sleep, when I drive to work, or when I start looking at the tape, I now have to compare every prospect at quarterback to Caleb Williams, because I have put my name and my hard work and dedication to this sport to showing the truth. The truth is, he's the greatest college quarterback that I've scouted, looking at that talent towards the professional level of football.
Right.
And that's all the ticket to the dance begins with. What he does from there is so many different things. His story is just beginning. But where we have a job to do as analysts is to break this down every single way possible. Every single way possible. As I was wrapping up the show, Ninos has sent me a video, Shayne.
Oh, perfect.
Should I? So it finally came through.
The audio is.
So he's out. He's showing me. I don't know what it is. He's out on a street.
Oh, not at the football field scouting other teams?
It's a street. The field's across the street. There's kids out there.
Warrior thinks he's sick with Twitter.
Oh, God. If you're going to talk smack on it, it's not even worth it.
Right. No wonder why he's behind the fence.
He's behind the fence.
Shocker.
Scout. He was coaching, but yes. Yeah. Watching. Whatever it is, be better. The Chicago Bears have to be better. And that's the goal here. That's what we'll continue to do. And I continue to thank all you patrons and all you fans for your support. Subscribe, let other people know. And the truth of what it is on the tape will always rise to the top, just like the cream. Right, Zorich? That's how Shayne and I feel with this Nino. All right. We'll be back this Sunday, 2 days from now. Breaking it down. That Monday night, the Jaden
Sign up, be a patron, Spud. We have it all there for you, buddy.
Does he have full games playing in the system? Yes. Wait till you see it, Spud. Become a patron. You'll see it all there live. It's not bullshit. It's unremarkable. It's not highlight films. It's not television copy. It's actual college coaches tape showing you the truth, where there's nowhere to hide or manipulate it, or like some frauds who don't break down tape will say, we're splicing it and projecting it a certain. No, that doesn't happen. The only thing I take out are the run plays. So that's what cutting tape is. We're watching the passing, not his run plays, but I'm talking the running back run plays. So, or holding penalties or anything like that. Everything else is there. It's hours of footage. It's nowhere to hide. It's ridiculous. Anyway, for Shane Marsaw, I'm your guy, Draft Dr. Phil. Thanks for watching this pop-up show on the Caleb Williams Combine, answering the concerns. Put them all to rest. What do you want to ask the Bears? Do they want to win? Chase greatness, everybody. Hashtag it up. Become a patron today and go Bears.